flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And next, we're going to do the roll call. So, John is not here tonight. I am. Phyllis. Shanoy is not here tonight. John
Here.
is. Carlton is not. Sandy.
Here.
And our alternate, Leslie, is not here. Vice Mayor Selena is not here as well. So we'll start with the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chair, to approve the minutes.
I second.
Approved. Next, we'll start with comments from members of the public. Nothing there? Okay. We are now on to the primary provider group updates, and we start with youth football. Sure.
Comments from board members.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Comments from the board members.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to publicly apologize for missing November's meeting. I think it was
Duly noted.
Thank you.
Ladies,
I'd like to say welcome and Happy New Year to everyone,
you as well?
and may it be a happy, healthy, and good one for us all.
I'll second that for sure.
And I'd like to say this, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to say that we went to the cultural center. We had our first luncheon. It's very nice. And I think we will enjoy it. Thank you, Lou.
Well, thank me.
It's done. But it took a while.
And just to say that Shanoy is now present, so we've got that. I would like to say one thing that I've had a couple comments from people over at the rec center concerned about the lighting in the parking lot. Seems to be kind of dark, and I've had a couple of the ladies and just saying that they were a little uncomfortable coming out after some of the yoga classes and something. So I'm not sure if it's missing lights or possibly the trees up blocking some of the lights, but I have noticed that it is a little dark in the parking lot after dark coming out of the rec center.
Yeah, we're aware of the issue, and we are looking at upgrading the lighting. It's a combination of the lights that we have that were actually installed 1993. But we are looking at updating those, putting in lower poles. Plus, at the same time, if you notice, all those oak trees have been trimmed from the bottom, trying to get them up above the lights. So, I mean, we are aware of it, and it's being addressed.
And I figured that it was, but I just didn't want to speak without knowing for sure. But just a couple concerns there, and which I noticed.
Oh, it's a
myself.
definite concern.
Okay,
I
all
agree
right.
with you.
Okay. So I guess now that we are on to primary provider group updates and starting with youth football.
Good evening. How's everyone?
Good.
Did you have a good holiday? Good New Year? All right. I heard through the grapevine we're supposed to keep it short. So I can,
Okay with
I
that.
can actually summarize our last entire season, our last entire year, one word: successful. But I'll go in a little more detail. We actually had every playoff team that was playoff eligible in the playoffs, and we've had the majority of the league actually compete for conference championships within Pop Warner. And we had two teams successful that actually came home with, they give out trophies, which is a helmet and a case. And you can actually see some of ours displayed at the rec center. And I think, to the best of my knowledge, that's probably the most teams we've ever had competing for conference championships at one time, which is a total of 3. 2 successful, 1 runner-up. We actually had one team advance to nationals, which was up in Disney World. We had a lot of publicity for not just our team, our organization, but for Royal Palm. So anybody who's interested in sports and watches ESPN, they got to see our team play and be successful and bring home the national trophy. So that'll conclude for 2018. For 2019, we are hosting flag football as well as 8-on-8. We found that both tools are actually really good to grow the program and get players extra training and build up to the Pop Warner season, which is our flagship, which is most important to us. So this year from last year, we went from 2 teams. Just for 8-on-8, we have complete all divisions full, so 6 teams. So we have almost as many kids just in 8-on-8 as we do in Pop Warner. And flag football registration is still open. We're having a lot of return business as well as a lot of new people interested coming from other programs from like Wellington, West Palm, even as far as Palm Springs. I've had some phone calls and some registrations from out there as well. So that'll be open through February. 8-on-8 is actually closed right now because we have way too many kids and not enough sets of equipment or field space. That pretty much concludes that. Does anybody have any questions?
Can you get your name and title?
Yes, my name is Mike. I'm with Palms West Athletics Association, and I am the president and representative for PWAA this evening.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Congratulations on last year.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, hold on, Mike.
I asked if you had a question.
I was going to let our councilwoman speak first, but
I was just going to say congratulations again. The team came in for a presentation from the council, so we really appreciate it. But congratulations to the other teams as well that all competed. So I didn't realize all of them made the playoffs too. So
Yeah, everyone who was eligible was making playoff runs. So
congratulations.
thank you.
Great season.
we all appreciate what you're doing. We know that it's a tremendous amount of time and talent to run anything like that. And so congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Hope you got some sleep at the end of all that season.
Well,
You got a lot of stuff going on last
yep, trying to catch up. I don't think that's going to happen. So, all
year. Nice.
right, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. And next we have youth baseball / softball. Okay, so we're going to C, which is the youth soccer.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Connor. I'm the vice president of Royal Palm Beach Strikers Soccer Club. I got a little good news, bad news. The bad news is Coach Mal can't be here tonight. He's got a high school playoff game. And the good news is Coach Mal can't be here tonight, and I'm going to be brief. Okay.
Very good.
First of all, I want to thank the village for all their support for our program. One other thing. Mal, my phone's off. Don't call me tonight. Okay. Thank the village for everything. From the parks guys to the recreation department, they've been wonderful to us. I can tell you that last May, we hosted a tournament, and we had parents from everywhere come to our fields, and they all commented what a great facility we have over at Cat Soccer Complex. Just want everybody to know that. Okay, our soccer program has two basic wings. One is the recreational wing, and the other is the competitive. I just looked at the numbers for the last 3 years. In our recreation, we do 2 seasons, spring and fall, and we average about 490 players per season for the last 3 years. The competitive program averaged for the last 3 years about 140 players. And our recreation program feeds into our competitive program. We do have open tryouts when we do competitive, but for the most part, we start the teams in our recreational program. The community service. We do volunteer hours for the high school kids. We even had last season, we had a high school student as a head coach of a U16, which works out really well. We have, our competitive teams all have a pink outfit for cancer awareness. They wear that in the month of October, which is kind of cool. We have a recreational scholarship, college scholarship for $500 that we give out every year. And the other thing we have that I'm really proud of is we have a working relationship with a couple foster homes. And if they have some kids in their program that want to play recreational soccer, we comp them into the program. As far as our club goes financially, we're in great shape. We have savings account for rec and competitive, and the only thing that we're looking at is needs. One of the things that came up with the fields are on field 7 and 8, which are large fields. There's a forest kind of on the north end, and the balls go in there and get lost. And also some of the squirrels are getting, post-traumatic stress syndrome. And if there's any way we could get some netting up on there, that would be great. The last thing is this is not for me, but the ladies' room, apparently they don't flush as well. And I know that's a major project, but I just wanted to bring that up. And if you have any questions for me right now, my baby, my focus is the recreational program. I can answer anything on that. The rec, the competitive, I'm a little light on. So if you have anything for me, shoot.
I think it's very good that you're looking into opening up some spots for someone who may not have the opportunity to play soccer just from knowing that that's even there. And so the account is enough that we're able to cover the cost of what it would be for the kids.
Well, for the recreational, yeah, for the foster kids, yeah, and it's
great.
Yeah, as many as 5. I've never turned anybody down, but most I had any season was 5. It's been 2 or 3. I've been doing this for about 3 years now.
And the scholarship, how does a child qualify for that?
Okay, the criteria is they have to play in our rec program for at least 3 of the years of their high school, and then they write an essay, and then we pick. I mean, last year there was 3. We had 3 kids that actually qualified and wrote essays. And in fact, the one that won, Emmanuel, he ended up coming back every weekend and coaching.
Very good.
Yeah,
so
that
that
was
paid
kinda
off,
cool.
right?
Yeah, it's very good.
Cool. Any other questions?
I just wanted to clarify real quick. You said it was 490 players in both the spring and the summer. So each have 490?
Correct, on average, yes, for the last 3 years, yeah.
Good number.
Yeah, no, if we had more well, we don't turn anybody away. I mean, it comes down to about the second week of the season when we finally have to say, I can't order more uniforms. But if anybody calls, we try to get them in. The last thing we want to do is turn anybody down. And one thing that we did do this year, which was kind of cool, is that as you get older, you run out of players. And when you get to the U14 division, the next division was U18. And what we did this year is we made a U16 and a U18. And that held a lot more kids. In the U16 division, we had about 50 kids. And then in the U18 division, we had, I think it was 36. So that was really good. And I think that's going to build up too. Because we seem to, when the kids have to make that jump from U14 to U18, some of them go, that's not for me. And especially the girls, which is where we always have problems getting girls out. So.
Sounds promising.
Okay, thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thank you, Sean.
Have a good night.
All right, you as well. Okay, next we have the Parks and Recreation Director updates and the CIP updates. I guess that goes with Lou.
Yeah, first I want to comment on the Pop Warner. I mean, you're going to find, as Mike mentioned, their enrollment's going to start growing. When you have a successful program and that news gets out about the teams and having a team win a national championship, that's not easy to do. And then they beat the team from Arizona 34-0. I mean, it's amazing, and it says volumes about the volunteers that we have running. Not only football, the soccer team, the basketball teams, all these programs. With volunteers, we wouldn't have them. We need volunteers for everything. So I know a lot of times they're hurting for getting coaches, and right now I'm pleading to the public, if anybody is interested, come out. They need coaches. Excuse me, what?
Baseball is in the house.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we'll go back to a group update on the youth baseball / softball. Would you like to come up?
Looks like in last fall, which would have been like the August season, there was 334 enrollments. As of now, we have 365, 320 baseball, 45 softball. 4 years ago, it was about 220, which is when the current board, I guess, kind of came on. It's about the same, we're about the same enrollment as Okehili, but they have 13 travel teams. We only have 3. Next year, we already have 6 more travel team commits, so we're assuming around maybe 400 next spring. And I guess that's where we're at.
Okay.
Keith Galus. Keith, Galus. I'm the treasurer for the baseball league. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your time.
I got a question. So how many did you say you had enrolled in softball?
45. 45 as of now.
45?
Yes, sir.
When's your season start?
They're supposed to have tryouts this weekend. It got rained out, so I think tryouts will probably Thursday. So season will start late February, if I had to guess.
You're still enrolling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And 45 in softball, what would that make in teams approximately? Would we get 3 teams out of that?
Well, I don't have the age groups. It would depend, but yeah, it seems like usually about 2. The last couple of years, anyway, it's been about 2 teams in age group, and they will actually kind of team up with other parks, and they'll go somewhere and play and come here and play just to give a couple extra teams or whatever.
Okay, so it's a little different competition.
Yeah, I mean they've only done the softball a couple seasons, so but yeah.
Are those numbers growing, the softball, or is it just kind of staying around the same?
I would say it seems like it's growing anyway, a little bit. I know 45 doesn't seem like a lot, but I know last season and just the fall season, not even spring, they had to have at least 5 teams between all the age groups, I would guess, if I can remember. So, yeah, they had 9 players a team. That would be 5 teams. So,
Okay.
all girls
All girls
for the
in
softball.
softball.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. For the softball, it's all girls. Yes.
Are you, okay, I'm assuming the 45 participants, that's rec ball, right?
Yes, sir.
Not travel.
Yes, sir.
Right, and did you say what you had in travel?
The softball, I believe this will be the very first season where they're even going to do a travel softball, because they just started softball here maybe 2 seasons ago. So I believe we talked about it, but I think this season will be the first season where they actually have travel softball. It's only been rec. We might have, because of so minimal teams, we went to other parks came here just to give more, teams to play. But as for a travel team, we've never had one for softball.
And are you using Farron Park, or are you playing the games at Bob Marcello?
All the games are at Bob Marcello. They might do some practices at Farron, but all the games are at Marcello.
Marcello.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any other questions? All right, Keith, thank you. Appreciate you coming out. So we'll get back to the parks projects.
Okay, I have a few updates here. First of all, Veterans Park, if you've gone through there, you're going to notice that all the light bollards along the pathway have all been replaced and upgraded. All the uplights throughout the park have all been replaced, along with the electrical bollards have been also replaced. And that is something that we've had issues with over the past few years, and was a major project. The Sporting Center, we have a project on the books to take down the existing roll-up plastic windows that we have on the 3rd floor. It did go out for bid. We opened up the proposals last Thursday. They weren't good. The response was they didn't respond properly. Let me put it there that way. So we're recommending that we reject the proposals, which there were only 2. We will put it back out on the streets, and hopefully we'll get something better.
So the contractors didn't respond, or just the material?
The
or?
contractors didn't follow the procedure.
Was the RFP wasn't clear, maybe?
It was clear. It was clear, but it was very disappointing. But anyway, the architect and myself both agree that we need to put it back out. Okay. The shade, the sales at the banquet garden over in Commons Park, you'll notice some of them are starting to deteriorate from the weather. We are looking to replace those, and I anticipate a contract this month being February, a contract to replace those shade sails. We also have out at Pine Road Park off of Crestwood. We had a project out there to repair the basketball courts. Those have been completed. We also have a project to replace in the dog park where people are seated. We have metal shade structures over the seating, and they're rusting out because it's all metal. So we're going to replace those with new shade structures. And that also will, I'm anticipating the contract to be signed the month of March. The basketball courts also at Preservation Park, those have been redone, fencing replaced, and they're up and running. So that is also completed, along with the basketball courts at Todd Robner. So between Robner, Pine Road Park, and Preservation Park, basketball courts are all newly refurbished. Security cameras have been on the books. I have a meeting with a representative from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office tomorrow. We're going to go through the parks and identify where we want to place these cameras, and that'll be going out on the street this coming month. When I say going out on the street, we'll advertise, put it out, and it's February. I anticipate the end of March, maybe having a contract. Sports lighting at Bob Marcello, we met today. We got the designs from Musco Lighting, which is our sports lighting provider, to redo fields 2 and 3 at Bob Marcello Park. Those lights were installed 25 years ago. So we are going to upgrade those lights, and we're going to upgrade them to LEDs, which will help tremendously. You won't have as many light fixtures out there as you do today, and you'll get better quality lights. We also have the design from Musco Lighting for the parking lot lights at Commons Park. As you know, when we have events, we have to go out and literally we rent 17 portable generators with light stanchions. And this will pretty much eliminate half of them. The 2 grass areas on either side, on the east and the west of the sporting center, which are always filled, we're looking to light those 2 parking areas with sports lighting. We're not just going to put in street lights like you would normally see or parking lot lights. These are going to be literally sports lights like we have out in the Great Lawn. Obviously, the poles are not going to be as high, but the functionality is going to be much better than having regular parking lot lights. And along with that, we're going to have on the back side of some of those poles, we'll have security lighting for the pathways. Like we got a walkway that's between the grass parking on the west side, which is the first one you come to, and the dog park. Well, a lot of people walk these trails, so that will give extra protection for those pedestrians. Plus, we're going to put lights on the back side of the poles to light up the dog parks. A lot of people, they either go first thing in the morning before the sun gets beating down on them, or the last thing in the evening before it gets too dark. And a lot of people have requested the lighting so that they can come out in the evening. You know, the park is open. Why not have the dog parks open too? So I think that'll please a lot of our dog lovers. Then on the west side of, or I'm sorry, on the east side of the sporting center, that large grass parking, we're also going to have the ball field lights. We're also going to have lighting on the back side of some of those poles along the pathway. So again, that design is all done, and that'll be going out for a contract probably within the next 30 days. Along with that, if you recall, the pathway, we have 3 miles of pathway, walking and biking in Commons Park. We are looking to put bollards along the pathway. And hopefully we're going to also include in there some power outlets so that we can, when we have an event, I mean, we can literally, as an example, if you wanted to have a haunted trail like we would have for Rocktoberfest, you don't have to have it in an area. You can walk the trail, or a tram can bring you on the trail and you can see the various scenes throughout the entire park. So that's going to be, that'll be amazing. And again, people walking, it gets dark during the winter time. It's dark by 5:30. They can still walk on the pathways because we'll have those, the pathway lighting. So we're excited about that. That's going to be a big plus. Last but not least, the Cultural Center. Cultural Center is open, and if you haven't seen it, you need to go see it, because if you saw it the way it was and you see it now, you'll really appreciate it. It's just a phenomenal facility. We've already had events there over the past few weeks. We will be having a grand reopening or a rededication on February the 28th, and it'll be at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We're hoping to have our caterers, which we have 4 preferred caterers that is actually going for council's approval next week. And then we will, pardon?
I'm sorry, was there any testing involved?
Well, I think their reputations speak for them, speak for themselves. But anyway, what we're looking at is to have these caterers participate in our rededication by serving hors d'oeuvres at their expense. But we're going to have entertainment. We're going to have a one-man guitar player that we've had in the past on some of our special events.
Rick Nelson?
No, it's not Rick Nelson. No, this is more classical. But you know, on February 28th, we'll be sending out invitations to all of you.
I have a question regarding the caterers. Are you going to have a certain number of caterers that are authorized and closed? Or can people bring in other caterers or food from other?
We have, like I say, we got 4 caterers that actually put in their qualifications and their backgrounds, whom our committee, we all agree, they're all good. We were looking for 7. Okay.
My question is, however, when we give people who come to plan an event, and we say there are 4 caterers that we recommend, or 7, does that mean they're precluded from having a different caterer?
No, and to clarify, we are not recommending a caterer. We are giving them, these are our preferred vendors. There's 4 of them. We'll give them the information. The agreement will be between the caterer and them. And then they each caterer will have an agreement with the village for this service. If they have something special that the caterers can't provide, they can get an outside caterer, but they will have, again, they'll have a contract, and a fee that they will pay back to the village will be more. Okay? That is everything.
Okay.
And if you got any
Thanks, Lou.
questions on anything or everything, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Lou. And I guess last, we have to introduce Jacqueline and Brandon.
Yes, what we have here, let's put Jacqueline.
Can we stand,
First-
please?
Yes.
Jacqueline. Come up to the podium. Jacqueline Rodriguez is a new hire. We hired her
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
to manage the cultural center, along with community events that will take place at Veterans Park. She comes to us with experience in the hotel business, Marriott, right?
Marriott and Hyatt.
The Hyatt.
Walt Disney World as well.
If you can believe it, somebody would fill out a resume and an application and not put that they were trained at Disney World.
And tonight I brought with me my husband and my 2-year-old Nicholas,
Nice.
Kevin and Nicholas.
Have him come up and
I
say
just
hi.
don't have my 10-year-old with me.
Where's Nicholas? Hi, Nicholas. How are you, buddy? All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We just bought a home in La Mancha 2 years ago. For
Congratulations.
our residents. Yes, thank
Congratulations,
you.
welcome
Thank you. We're
aboard.
loving it. Great neighbors, great neighborhoods.
Great
so-
community.
Yeah, it really is. It
It's-
really, really is.
They only had 454 homes.
I mean,
That's another story.
we raised our kids here, and my daughter about 7 months ago moved back, bought a house.
Oh,
She's getting
okay.
married. Yeah, actually, her fiance works for Marriott.
Nice.
Or-
Very, very nice. Yeah, I worked for Marriott for 2 years and the Hyatt for 4. But I did event management with Walt Disney World, so I did that in Orlando.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
We're excited with
Board.
Jacqueline. We think she's going to do a great job. She has
Thank
one
you.
flaw, and that flaw is she thinks she's busy.
That is not true.
Thinks she's busy. How?
Yeah. We've
Nobody
been
makes
rocking
the
and
art of looking
rolling.
busy better than Lou.
We've definitely been rocking and rolling since those doors opened 3 weeks
Take it
ago.
with a grain of
so,
salt.
Yeah.
Mr. Recchio.
But she has the perfect personality for it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. So thank you. It's very nice to meet everyone.
Yeah, nice to meet
Thank
you. Congratulations. Welcome
Thank
aboard.
you.
And then there's Brandon.
Brandon.
So you will, and I just want to let you know, when as far as the cultural center, one of the things, or a few of the things you're going to notice is, in the grand ballroom, we used to have one 12-foot screen that came down in the center of the stage. We now have 3, with 3 projectors. So when the time comes, we want to have a Super Bowl party, not this year. We have 3 12-foot screens that we can use, and there's also the conference center or area, which is 4 separate meeting rooms that can be opened up into one, and you can seat up to 160 people.
What did you
400
name the rooms?
Um,
I haven't seen it yet.
No, well, the signs aren't up there yet. The La Mancha, the Crestwood, the original Village,
The
which
origi-
was,
Royal Colony?
no,
Village was originally designed in 4
Colony.
quadrants, right?
the Colony, the Willows, La Mancha, and Crestwood. That's what the rooms will be named. Okay?
Fixtures come,
The what?
fixtures.
Coming with the clock.
They're held up with
No.
tariffs.
Still being held.
All right, so now that we have Brandon sitting
Okay,
up here
yes,
for so long,
we've strung him out long enough.
Brandon Pendergrass, he's been with us for a few years. He was actually taking all the registrations for the Cultural Center and the Sporting Center out of the Recreation Center for the past couple of years. And he's now been moved up to be our manager and events manager. at the Sporting Center at Commons. He'll be in charge of renting that facility along with the community events at that facility. Brandon, the floor is
Congratulations.
yours.
Thank you. No, excited to get started. Nice to meet you all, for those who I haven't met yet. But just excited. We have a lot of good things coming up. I know you all just mentioned Rick Nelson. Friday, we just had Rick Nelson out for our food truck and concert night, which had a good showing even with the cold. Still had a good showing out there. So coming up in February the 22nd, we're going to have Gypsy Lane Band with our food truck and concert night. This Saturday, February 2nd, over at Veterans Park, we're going to be doing our kids' yard sale from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we still have a couple spots remaining, so we're still going to take registrations through this week until those spots fill up, but they're going fast. And then other than that, coming up in March, right now we're finalizing our bike rodeo, which PBSO is going to sponsor the safety portion of it. So we're going to be doing that on March 9th. And March is Florida Bike Month, so we want to get it in there and include it with that. And that'll be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we'll also have 3 bike paths, the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So you'll be able to come out, drive the bike paths, and also go through the safety course provided by PBSO. So right now, that's pretty much the bulk of what we have going on. Then we still have our daily rentals, weekends, weddings, parties going on. So we're busy, which is good.
So, somebody told me that I don't know if it's true or not, but it's almost a 2-year wait over at the Commons Park for the big room.
Not a 2-year wait because we can only book up to a year in advance. But
Maybe it's a year wait.
Depending on when you're looking at renting, yeah, those dates fill up quick. I get calls to book a year out, and they're waiting a month in advance to book that day, so they fill up quick.
Good.
On the bike, can a person just show up with the bike, or is this like do you have to?
Well, we're gonna do pre-registrations.
Yes.
Over at the Commons Park and at the Recreation Center. The registration actually going to open up this week.
Okay.
So you can come in, fill out a registration form, and show up that day. We'll have free giveaways, free T-shirts for all the pre-registers.
Okay.
And then that way you'll let us know which path you're going to go. And we'll all
You know
start
what
off
to
from
expect as far as
Yeah.
as wheels. Okay.
The main hub will be down at Commons, and we're going to launch all 3 paths from the same spot. We'll have our archway, and we'll start and finish there.
And this is just mostly just a leisurely ride. This isn't any sort of, is this a race or is this?
No, not a race. Not a
Okay,
race.
just-
No, it's a
get on your
leisurely
bike
ride. We
and- okay.
want everybody to remain safe.
That's what I thought.
Especially
That's-
riding through the paths on the roadways.
Okay.
So it's definitely not a race, but
All right. All right.
just if you want to race, bring your bike out.
No, I was just curious to make sure that, so any kind of bike, you can bring a beach bike, you can bring your 10-speed, you could bring.
Yeah, any kind.
Great. Okay.
Will you rent out any if somebody wants to ride and doesn't have a bike? Try out.
No, currently we're not going to rent out any. We're going to work with trying to work with a couple bike shops locally here to see if they can provide some bikes. PBSO is going to provide bike helmets for the participants of the safety portion. But no, currently not any bikes.
And the village is completely surrounded with the bike path now, correct?
Yes.
Great.
There's a portion of it that goes outside Commons Park.
That's one, and it goes out, right?
That's the big one. That's 7 miles, I believe.
7. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Thank you for coming out. Next, do we have closing comments from the board members?
No, very nice job. No, I think everything is going well, and we have a lot to look forward to.
I agree. Shanoy, anything?
Yeah, everything, there are a lot of wonderful plans of good state. I will say that our Young at Heart group, I believe, is 384.
Wow.
384.
I thought you said more.
Sandy got a couple of phone
And what's-
calls this afternoon.
And what's the minimum age for Young at Heart?
I'm a member.
27.
I'm in.
50. And we
Sign
have,
me up.
Way older than me.
and we have a lot of great, We've just finished our new bulletin and the plans for February to June. And I think we're going to have a very interesting 6 months. In May, we will have our election. We will inaugurate a new president and vice president. And it looks forward to an exciting year.
That sounds exciting. Very good.
What is the capacity of the new cultural center?
Well, until we change out the front doors, they have to have safety crash bars. The entire building will hold up to 900.
Yeah.
Right now, we're approved for 6. Now, that's not having 10-foot round tables and everybody sitting at a round table, but
I don't think we'll ever have 600 for a luncheon. I can try, but I don't think.
Anything else? I guess that, well, Happy New Year. Good to see everybody in 19. And it looks like we'll be meeting again March 25th. And we'll adjourn the meeting. Can I get a second on
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
all right.
Second.
All right. Meeting adjourned.